Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to our channel. Breaking news is that Tom Brady finally announced his retirement. Now, I'm a Bills fan. I was always a huge Tom Brady fan. Now, Cliff over here, he used to try to goat me by making comments just to annoy the crap out of me, even though I'm a Bills fan. Because let's face it, Tom Brady is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. 10 Super Bowls, winning 7 of them. I mean, how can you not say he's not the GOAT? He carried New England Patriots most of the time. Cliff might have something, it was the team, it was Bill Belichick, it was this. Yeah, then he goes to Tampa Bay, he does the same thing. Well, it was the team, their defense really shut him down. You got to admit, a lot of times you didn't give him a whole lot of credit.
I
Just
don't know
admit
if I don't know if I agree with what you just said there in terms of, the way you're representing how I felt about Tom Brady. I always said he's, a great quarterback, and he is a great quarterback. There's no doubt about it. But a quarterback alone doesn't win Super Bowls. You have to have a team behind you. Now,
obviously.
I will admit that he has a very impressive resume. He's been a winner his whole career. There's no doubt about it. He's got the it factor, and there's no doubt about it. He's a great quarterback. Not even
Clutch as hell, too.
That's not even a debate. That's not for debate. He is the greatest of all time, as it relates to winning Super Bowls and a lot of other things. I personally think there are better quarterbacks. Bill,
Hold
I'm not
on.
talking about. Hold on. I'm talking about
You're
better.
kind of you should have your own show because that's the funniest thing
Okay,
ever.
let me
Aaron Rodgers.
okay,
Yeah.
let me finish my thought, and then we could have a little friendly debate about it. Okay. I think there are quarterbacks that I have seen that had better skills than Tom Brady, but it's hard to make that argument when you look at I don't even know how many Super Bowls he won. Was it 8? I forget. That's so many.
Brady's won 7.
He's won 7. Okay. So he won 7 Super Bowls. He's been to 10.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, 10 Super Bowls. That is absolutely incredible. And
Most playoff wins in history.
okay, I'm not debating, his credentials. There's no doubt about it. He has very impressive credentials. He's won 7 Super Bowls. He's been to 10. He's won everywhere he's gone. He's a winner. There's no doubt about it. But if you look at his skill, okay, this is how I assess Tom Brady. You cannot argue he has the best record of all time. You can't argue that, right? Great, great, decision making. He throws really good passes. He's good under pressure. He has all the attributes of a great quarterback and a winner. You can't take anything away from him. But I always thought throughout his career, there was always better quarterbacks in the league. All right. When he played, there was always better quarterbacks in the league. Does that mean that they're better than him? I don't know. I mean, I'm just talking talent wise. Like Peyton Manning, I think was a better talent.
No, he wasn't.
I hate to say
No, he
this.
wasn't.
I hate to say,
Cliff.
okay,
This is where we're going to be not
I'll give
agree.
you a couple more.
Peyton Manning in the playoffs was atrocious at times. People forget how bad he was until he won the Super Bowl.
Some of that, Bill, in my opinion, has to do with the team you're on and the team you're facing.
Oh, God, here we go. The team. First of all, do you even realize what Peyton Manning had on offense? Do you even realize that? Reggie Wayne, the other guy, Harrison.
Right.
And they had you forget, they had a 1,500-yard rusher, too. So he's had running backs. Don't tell me, he ran the team.
The year he won with Denver was one of the best quarterback seasons I've ever seen in my life. I don't even remember what year it was. That year he won with that Denver team.
He didn't win the Super Bowl that year.
The year he won with Denver. I'm saying.
You mean the year he won the Super Bowl?
With Denver. That's what I just said. Yeah.
He had his worst career year ever.
Are you serious?
Cliff, do you even know what his numbers were his last year when they won the Super
Bowl? Bill, this is going to be on your channel. You better.
Cliff. He was a shell of himself.
Are you kidding me? The year he won the Super Bowl with
Denver, year he won the Super Bowl, you're gonna look like a fool.
Okay,
I can tell you right now.
We're gonna have to get back to that. Let's.
Oh my God! On this channel, you're gonna.
I remember that season. I remember him having a great season.
Yeah. Well, we'll look it up. Look it up. That's all I can say is he was terrible that year. That's why they put Brock Osweiler in.
Bill, the year he won the Super Bowl with Denver, he had a great season. That was a record season.
No. The years they lost the Super Bowl, got the butts handed to him. He had a great year, but he didn't win the Super Bowl.
Okay. we're gonna have to go back to the videotape on that as what
Boy, boy, I can't
what's
wait
his
to see
name?
the comments on this
Okay.
one.
All right, let's move on. There's a lot of things happening today. You just mentioned Tom Brady retiring. That's big news. That's
Yeah.
really big news. Sean Payton, that's another big news story. Sean Payton is accepted a head coaching job over at the we just talked about him, Denver Broncos.
Broncos,
Right?
that they
That's
gave
gonna be
a lot
interesting.
of compensation for Russell Wilson. They gave a compensation for Sean Payton's. What they're not gonna have a draft class for 3 years, and Russell Wilson's gonna be 3 years older. And this past season he was atrocious. I'm just saying, I don't know if that was gonna be good for him.
Well,
They paid him a lot of money, I'm sure.
oh, sure, absolutely. He's was the most well sought out coach out there.
Yeah.
That's a big story. And here's I guess what how this is going to unfold. I guess at the end of the day, he's stuck with Wilson, isn't this? He's stuck with him, right? So I wonder. He took that position knowing that Russell Wilson signed to that long-term deal. So I wonder. A lot of times they could get out of these, somehow. I don't know how Russell Wilson's contract is structured, right? I don't know those details. But I believe, didn't he sign, what did he sign, a 7-year deal, whatever it was? I don't even know
I don't know the
the
years,
term.
but I think
All
it
right,
was like
so
245 million.
let's talk about if Sean Payton, he's stuck with Wilson year one, which is going to be next season. And if Russell Wilson has the type of season next year that he did this past season, how does Sean Payton somehow move on from Russell Wilson, right? Because if you're a coach and you're not happy with your quarterback, that's a big problem. Your quarterback has to be the guy, you have to want that guy behind center. If you don't think you can win with him, you have to figure out a way to get rid of him, no matter what the ramifications are. It could be a salary cap hit, it could be eaten
Oh, it's
by
gonna be a lot of
contract.
dead money, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, so that's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out and how Russell Wilson comes out of the gate next season. We'll be watching that one very closely.
No question.
All right, so we have that. The last video that we did, Bill, we asked your loyal fans, the Bills Mafia and the rest of the crew out there watching us, what they wanted to see in the next video. I don't know if you saw the comments. Did you see the comments?
I think you know what happens is I think either you looked at them first or some, so I didn't really get the.
Okay.
I probably should
So,
look at them anyways because I thought maybe somebody replied.
okay.
So
So
I apologize to anybody that I didn't look at the comments.
that's all right. Two of your loyal fans wants us to cover some boxing fighting, right? And
Oh yeah,
that's great. I mean, I love that. I love that because I was a huge boxing fan, as you know, back in the day. Boxing is a
Holyfield,
sport. We
first
love
ball.
Yeah, we love covering boxing, but what I can say to everybody out there listening is the current state of boxing, it's not a sport that's there's no excitement to boxing, and a lot of that has to do with who destroyed boxing? The big promoters. They just destroyed it. They basically they monopolized the sport. You could never get a good fight going because there was always a problem with the money and the gate and all that stuff. So
Oh yeah,
boxing just was a great
and
sport.
have an MAA. So
And
there's no.
right, and the MAA is now more popular in boxing. But so Joseph, which is one of your
Oh yeah.
loyal followers, wants us to do a little bit on the Jake Paul Fury fight, right? Tommy Fury. Let's I'm just gonna give you I'm gonna spit out information on that, and then maybe we could do a more in-depth one. But before I get to that, another one of your loyal followers wants to know who would win in a fight between you and I, right?
Oh,
So,
well, everybody knows that you would have no chance. They'd bet on me.
Bill, are you kidding me? Okay,
Cliff,
this is
Cliff, you can barely bench 100 pounds.
okay. Hold on. Here's what I would say to you in boxing. Okay, strength is important, and I don't know what you bench nowadays, but you always you got to bench 500 pounds, whatever you bench. What do you bench, Bill?
My maximum was 425.
Okay, so you bench 425. What I could say is in boxing, strength doesn't win over speed, right? What I would say is if you and I got in the ring, I'd be jabbing you to death, You
but
would
they
probably
wouldn't
last
do
you
anything.
would probably last 2 rounds in the ring with me, but
No,
you know
you
what?
wouldn't, Cliff. Cliff, my neck is thicker than yours. It means a lot. Trust me.
Yeah, okay. After I start throwing those jabs right square in the nose, you'd be probably crying in
Cliff, who are we kidding? We know who that one that made that comment. That was your brother. Let's be honest.
Okay, so let's move on from that. Maybe if this channel grows and we get bigger and we make a lot of money, we'll do a charity boxing match, and the proceeds
And
will go
then the next day they'll be going to your funeral.
okay, whatever. Whatever. All right, so let's get back to a more serious topic, a fight that's really going to happen, which is Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. So here's what I would say about that fight. Now, I think it's scheduled for February 23rd, if I remember correctly. And they scheduled a fight previously that somehow something happened, it never happened. So now this is a new fight, and we'll see if it ever happens. So this very much interests me. So Jake Paul, Bill, as you probably know, is he's a social media guy.
Big name guy
He started
from
getting.
all that.
Yeah, so his brother had a channel, and he became very popular. He started doing the same thing, became very popular. Next thing you know, these guys are doing these starting these boxing matches. His brother had a couple boxing matches. And geez, why am I forgetting who he fought? He fought the Mayweather. He fought Mayweather, right? And Mayweather kind of, obviously he's a little bit older, and he beat him pretty handily, but it wasn't a blowout. But he just, he probably didn't take the fight too seriously. He just kind of danced around with him. I think it went the distance, and he won the decision. So let's go back to Jake Paul. So Jake Paul, who has he fought? Well, everybody that he fought a lot of former athletes. So I think the first fight was Nate Robinson, the old point guard.
Yeah, I remember he knocked him out in like one round and 1 or 2 rounds.
But there was a big difference in size, right? So Nate Robinson is smaller. He's a
Listen, I
like
believe when he played
5'9".
him, he 5'9", like 180.
Yeah, so Jake Paul dominated him, pure strength. He hit him with a shot that just put Nate Robinson to the foul.
Pure strength,
right?
huh?
Yeah. So he fought Nate Robinson, beat him pretty handily. And Nate Robinson was, he's a retired athlete, right? So he wasn't young. He was in his mid-30s when they fought, I believe. He fought most recently, he fought Anderson Silva. Okay. I think that fight was last year. I'm gonna say Anderson Silva, when he took that fight, was already 46 years old, right? So he fought a 46-year-old guy, and Jake Paul is a pretty powerful guy. Now, Anderson Silva is a retired MMA fighter, as you know, and he's well decorated, right? But he's not really a boxer, and he was 46 years old. So take that victory with a grain of salt. He fought another UFC star, Ben Askren, who was very, very well decorated, but he was a grappler and a wrestler. And, he fought him when Ben he had to be in his mid to late 30s. I'm going to say he was probably 35, 36 years old, somewhere around there. And he beat him handily. I mean, he just overpowered him, and he knocked him out. The other UFC fighter he fought him twice, was Woodley. Tyron Woodley, and he fought him twice. And Tyron Woodley is another guy. When he fought, he was in his late 30s, and he beat him twice. And size-wise, I think it was it was close. Tyron Woodley probably is very similar, and I'm going to say he's a little bit shorter, but Tyron's a built guy. So it wasn't like he was fighting a guy that he had by 40 pounds. They were closer to same weight class. I'm going to say that Jake Paul probably had a little bit of weight on him. Now here's what's interesting. The fight against Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury's a young guy. Now, he's the half brother of the heavyweight champ Tyson Fury. As a matter of fact, I don't know if Tyson Fury retired, or he probably still has the belt. Boxing has become almost so irrelevant that I don't even know details. But he was the heavyweight champ, and he might have just retired. I think he did, actually. But he's the half brother of Tyson Fury, and he's a young guy in his early 20s, and he's a professional boxer, and he's a similar size. I think they're very close to the same size. Jake Paul maybe has a little bit of weight on him, but now he's actually fighting a young professional boxer. So now we're really going to see if Jake Paul you
Pretty
know,
much
can
what he's
take
made of.
the lead. Yeah. So what's my prediction for the fight? To be quite honest with you, it's very hard to say. Jake Paul is a very, very strong puncher. If you look at the power behind his punches, he'll knock anybody out. He really will. If he connects with even a professional boxer, yeah, he's capable of knocking a guy out in the same weight class. Okay. The guys that he fought who were smaller, and yeah, that I mean, it's no surprise that he knocked the guys out that he knocked out. But now that he's fighting a professional boxer, we'll see what kind of chin he has, right? So it should
Yeah.
be interesting. What I just said, what's my prediction? My prediction is,
Pain.
yeah. I don't have a prediction. I think what we need to do is I need to
How about a good fight?
yeah, I think I need to see some fights that this guy Tommy Fury has fought, because I haven't
Yeah.
really. I do know he's a professional. I do know he's undefeated. I want to say he's like 23 years old, and he's again of a similar weight class. So I I'm gonna lean towards Tommy Fury in this fight. Now, it's hard to count Jake Paul out because all he's done is win. He's undefeated as well. But, he fought all these aging ex-athletes. So it's really hard to determine whether this guy really is a good boxer. I mean, I've seen him in the ring. I mean, he looks good. He passes the eye test. But let's see what happens when he faces a real boxer.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. And Joseph, thanks for throwing that one out there.
Thank you, pal.
Maybe we'll do another video after we could do a little research on this and speak more intelligently.
Yeah, the research I have to do is about Peyton Manning's Super Bowl win, how bad he was that year.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up. Now, we're gonna leave on one other thing. You had mentioned to me a Bills linebacker that
Oh, Edmonds. Do
Okay,
you think he'd be a good fit for the Giants?
well, what's the story around now? Now he's
Well-
coming free agency.
Well, what happens? Was a lot of speculation during this season that they were not going to retain him. They thought he was going to be gone. I'm talking in the beginning of the season. Might have even been preseason, so they expect him not to be there. That's what they were saying. Now, here what I would say about him: solid linebacker. He was drafted the same year Josh Allen was drafted. Get this: he's a 5-year veteran. He's only 24 years old.
Wow, okay.
That's how young he is. People say maybe it's his age. Some of the games he's really a monster, and then some of the games he disappears. My perspective is maybe it's because the defensive scheme doesn't fit his talent. You know how sometimes that happens. But however, I also saw the speculation because the Giants are kind of tied to the Bills with the two people they got from the Bills. The speculation maybe he might be a good fit for the Giants. So we'll just have to see on that one. That's what I have to say.
Yeah. So the age thing, I mean, that is definitely obviously nice that he's young, if he's going to come sign to a new team, especially for a longer-term deal.
Yeah.
But the problem with that position, right, is what kind of mileage does he have? You could be young, but 5 years in the league, you're taking a lot of hits, and I honestly I don't know the guy, so I'm not going to really comment on it.
He never really got hurt too much. I mean, there was a couple of games I think he missed, and then he had soreness, but it's not like he was totally injury prone.
Okay.
So
yeah,
we'll have to see.
Yeah, that's a brutal position.
Yeah.
Right, you're taking some hard hits, right?
Oh, yeah.
And generally, linebacker is probably, maybe running back is the toughest position from the standpoint of the physicality and taking the beatings. Linebacker maybe
they get paid to crash into people. That's their job.
Right. Yeah. It's a
yeah. We'll have to see.
Yeah. But yeah,
that's all I have to say on this one.
Yeah. All right. Well, Bill, thanks for reaching out, and I think it's good that we got those couple breaking news because your loyal fans, I'm sure, are dying to hear what you had to say about those topics. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, and like always, the way we ended our last video, anybody wants to, if there's any topics you want us to address, feel free to put them in the comments. We'll be happy to address them in the next video. All right, Bill.
Thanks for stopping by, people.
All right. Have a good day.